Welcome back to the TNT podcast. Today we're going in a direction that hasn't been very kind to me, for ratings, but we're going to try it anyways. Today I'm going to be convincing my dad that the Bell Witch is real.
Really a witch now?
It's not a witch. It's also not a
Is
wizard.
she related to that guy in that movie? Rode that broom, what's his name? Harry Potter?
No.
Somebody told me Harry Potter could take off so fast on his broom he left skid marks. I guess he didn't wipe too good. What?
The witch describes a ghost that attacks people. The Bell Witch incident or haunting occurred near Adams, Tennessee between 1817 and 1821. All of this occurred to John Bell and his family. That's why it's called the Bell Witch.
So this is going to get confusing. It's a witch, but it's a ghost.
Yeah.
But it's a ghost that's called a witch.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is a true story. This guy I used to work with.
Oh, boy.
They had Harry Potter parties.
Yeah.
They would dress up like him, ride a broom around the house.
Cosplay?
Huh?
Cosplay?
I don't know what you're saying.
Like when people go places and dress up as, fictional characters?
No, he dressed up like Harry Potter. Him and his family, and they ride brooms around the house. And,
yeah.
That might explain why his wife left him, reckon.
Anyways. What? Okay, anyways. Martin Ingram published a book about the Bell Witch in 1894. Near the farm of John Bell is also a cave that has come to be known as Bell Witch Cave. According to Ingram, the witch or poltergeist's name was Kate. The witch at one point claimed to belong to Kate Batts. We're going to have to come back to Kate Batts in a moment. That gets...
Why can't we discuss her now? You done piqued my interest. I want to know all about it.
Well, you'll find out.
I won't be able to focus on this. It's Bell Wizard.
Okay. Okay. You know what you're doing. You're doing... Okay. It all began in 1817 when John Bell saw a strange animal with the body of a dog and the head of the rabbit. He shot at the creature, but it vanished. What?
The body of a dog and the head of a rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He shot at the creature, but it vanished. A little while later, his son Drew saw a giant bird sitting on a fence. He watched the bird fly off. The next strange occurrence was when his youngest daughter, Betsy, saw a girl in a green dress swinging from the limb of a tree. Later, most of the incidents of the Bell Witch were directed toward Betsy. John Bell owned several servants, and one named Dean reported often being followed by a strange-looking black dog.
It's a body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. Since we did Bunny Man, I guess this is Bunny Dog.
Okay, you're so funny.
What? I mean, what are you insinuating? It's half dog, half bunny? Now,
yes,
see, now I got that in my mind. I've got the image of a dog and a rabbit having sex. I'll never get that out of my mind.
Come on.
Thanks a lot.
Soon the event moved into the Bell house. Knocks could be heard throughout the house. They reported hearing something chewing on the bedpost. Phantom dogs fight in the house, and chains were rattling on the floor.
Stop right there, young man.
Okay.
I have a true story for you.
All right.
My mom, your mama, when she was a kid,
yeah,
and she had company, her parents would put her and her company out in the back room.
Yeah.
And she said every night at 3 o'clock, something would drag chains across the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
She said her house was haunted. She said outside the house was this big gate with a spring on it, and it had about 40-pound tension, and it would open by itself and slam, and nobody'd be there. And then people down the road would see the house was on fire, and by the time they got up there, there wouldn't be no fire seen at all.
This is a true story?
It's a true story, yeah.
So you do believe in ghosts?
No, my mom did.
Okay. John then began having some problems with moving his mouth. The witch named Kate then began to torment the children.
Well, if you had trouble moving your mouth, it'd be the end of the world. You'd explode.
The witch named Kate then began to torment the children, jerking the covers off the bed while they slept, stuff like that, pulling their hair. Soon the children were pinched, slapped, but most of the violence was directed toward Betsy. When Betsy became engaged to Joshua Gardner, Kate really became upset with the girl.
Maybe she'd like the Gardner guy. You ever thought about that? Now, that'd be a sight to see. A girl and a witch having one of these cat fights over a guy. Wouldn't that be cool?
No. A friend of John's named James Johnson volunteered to spend the night and help him get rid of the spirits. After being repeatedly awakened by Kate during the night, he informed John that he was being haunted by a spirit, just like those found in the Bible. People came from all over to witness these events, and the ghost began speaking to these visitors. She would speak in a feeble whisper and ask, "What are you and what do you want?" You want me to try to imitate what she'd sound like?
Yeah.
Feeble whisper.
What are you and what do you want?
That's not a whisper.
What are you and what do you want?
You know what I say?
What?
Say, boy, I just traveled 1,000 miles to come down here, and you ask me what I want? I want to hear some words of wisdom out of a witch. And all I get's a question. I wish I was home right now.
Okay. At other times, she informed people that she was a spirit, once happy but now disturbed. The witch claimed that John Bell had an Indian mound on his property, and that's why she was angry with him. She claimed there was buried treasure nearby, and John's son Drew and James Johnson went on a fruitless search for this treasure.
They might not have liked that witch. When she mentioned treasure, they dug the whole farm up. What a bunch of bozos.
Okay.
Okay.
You just...
What?
Okay, you telling me if an all-powerful paranormal ghost told you there's treasure in your backyard, you wouldn't look for it?
Not if it was a mean ghost. Have me digging up half the world. Nothing there.
I guess that's fair. Once the spirit quoted two church sermons that were being given at the same time, but many miles apart. The Bell Witch knew the Bible well and loved to debate people over religion. The Bell Witch would visit John Bell's neighbors and return to tell the family of activities going on in his neighborhood house.
I bet that was good. She'd probably come back and say, "Hey, John, I was just over at old Mr. Smith's house. You're not going to believe this, but he needs Viagra."
Okay. Why? Why Viagra? Why?
She's gossiping.
I don't think that's the kind of gossiping. Did they have Viagra back then? James Johnson's son, John, decided to put the witch to a test. He asked her what his grandmother in North Carolina would ask her servants when they'd done something wrong. The witch even replied using his grandmother's German accent and asking, quote, "Tut tut, what has happened now?" An Englishman came to debunk the myth of the witch. The witch talked to him all night using the voices of his parents in England. When they returned to England, he found the witch had visited them the same night and used his voice.
This ain't no witch. It's a mockingbird or a parrot.
I don't think they had those back then.
What?
The news became so widespread that future President Andrew Jackson, who was known to fear nothing, decided to come confront the witch. Because of the many visitors to the Bell farm, John Bell was running low on food. Jackson brought a wagon load of food as a gift. Just before reaching the house, the wheels on the wagon locked. His men couldn't get the wagon to move for quite some time until they heard the Bell Witch voice say, and I quote, "All right, General, let the wagon move on. I will see you again tonight."
So old Hickory went and checked this witch out?
Sure.
Did she take him for a ride on her broom?
No. There was no broom. She's not a witch. She's a ghost. Jackson had a self-proclaimed witch hunter with him. The man bragged so much about how he would deal with this entity that Jackson said, "I wish the thing would come. I want to see him run." The witch then appeared and taunted the man by grabbing him by the nose and pulling him out of the house. Jackson laughed and said, "This beats fighting the British." But when the witch warned that she would punish someone the following night, Jackson and his men decided it was time to leave.
What a bunch of chickens. You believe they elected him president? I guess his opponent didn't know he would have debated him about being a chicken. Was it not on CNN that he was a chicken for the election?
They didn't have CNN back then.
Oh, no wonder. That's how he got elected then.
Dude, the witch was nice to John Bell's wife Lucy. It called her the most perfect woman to ever walk the earth. The witch would often leave her fresh fruit and sing songs to her. She was also nice to John Bell Jr.
Wait, ain't witches supposed to put hexes on people?
What?
I didn't know they chose favorites.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Early in 1820, military officers John R. Bell, not related to the Bell family, and Stephen Harriman Long arrived at the Bell house after an extended exploration of the Great Plains. They ate dinner with the family and spent the night. They returned east with stories of a woman's voice who spoke all night. They reported that the haunting had grown so much fame that hundreds, if not thousands, of people had traveled there to hear the voice. John R. Bell believed that Betsy had accidentally discovered the art of ventriloquism.
What?
Ventriloquism. Ventriloquism. Historian Martin Ingram doesn't believe these voices were caused by ventriloquism.
Then what?
Ventriloquism. Ventriloquism.
So, you're trying to say Betsy was a ventriloquist?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? That's probably why Andrew Jackson got scared and left. She probably threw her voice over and it sounded like it's coming out of his butt.
That's why I'm saying it's not true. Wait, no, it's not.
It's coming out of his butt. He's like,
No.
I see it, I'm out of here. When the toothless one's smarter than the other end, I'm out.
Okay. She referred to John Bell Sr. as, quote, Old Jack, and she repeatedly stated that she would eventually kill him. John Bell grew sick and passed away in 1820 at the age of 70. The witch told the family that she had poisoned him. During the funeral, the witch interrupted the proceedings by singing songs that were sung in taverns by drunken men.
What was she singing? 99 bottles of beer on the wall?
I don't know. Not that. The witch was so violent concerning Betsy's engagement that in 1821, Betsy called off her future marriage to Joshua Gardner. The witch then announced it was leaving, but stated it would return to the family in 7 years. Sure enough, in 1828, the witch returned to haunt Lucy Bell and her sons Richard and Joel. This time, the family chose to ignore the witch, and this seemed to work because the witch soon vanished for good.
Now, how you gonna ignore this thing? Shoes on the bed, initiates dog fights, drags chain across the floor, then you're gonna just act like you don't hear nothing.
That's what they did, and it worked.
Huh?
It's what they did, and it worked. Anyways, remember how I stated that the Bell Witch claimed to belong to Kate Batts?
Yeah, you wouldn't tell me about her.
Well, now I am. Kate Batts
About time.
lived on land that joined the Bell farm. Her husband had been paralyzed in a freak accident, and they were very poor people. Because of this destitution, Kate became a very eccentric character, often arguing with anyone over anything.
Sounds a lot like my first wife. She was an expert at arguing. You couldn't win an argument with her. She didn't ever make dogs fight or drag chains around. I can't remember if she chewed on the bed or not.
The Bell family believed this entity had been conjured by Kate Batts to torment them. She and John Bell often had some tense arguments, and it almost came to blows during one particularly nasty disagreement. When John died, the Bell family blamed Kate Batts for his death. Kate vehemently denied having anything to do with his death. Kate would pass away in 1842, nearly 22 years after John Bell died. She proclaimed her innocence until the very end. So, she didn't do it.
She just wants somebody to argue with, right?
Yeah, apparently.
So her husband was paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't any fun to argue with. Can't even defend himself.
No, it's
Was
not.
that freak accident what paralyzed him?
No.
How big was this baddie woman? Did she solar plex him into the ground?
What are you talking about?
Talking about Kate Batts.
No, I don't know
She's
how
a
big
witch
she.
too,
I
ain't
don't
she?
know how big she was. She was not a witch.
Maybe she was drinking and driving a broom and he was riding double and they crashed in the ground, reckon? You know, somebody told me Harry Potter couldn't drive his broom too well.
He could drive it.
They said he wore glasses to keep bugs and bird poop out of his eyes because he drove his broom so fast. Is that true? Have you seen it?
I've
never seen that
I
movie.
saw the first one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But that's not true. That
He
didn't
should
happen.
have wore a helmet or had an ejection seat.
Hey, I'm trying to find something for you real quick. I'm sorry if I'm not in this conversation. I went
Somebody said he hung around with an ogre named Boulder Dork, or maybe it was the
stop with the Harry Potter for a second.
seven dorks who lived with Cinderella. I don't remember.
I need to let
can't
you know
keep
this.
Stuff straight.
So recently,
Mhm.
I've been, looking through stuff, hoping to find somebody that can help me find the one cryptid that you've seen.
Mhm.
And I recently asked somebody if they seen it, and I told them I was open to suggestions on it.
Mhm.
They replied If he's been to Florida, ... he may have seen Big Dong. I sometimes go streaking, so it's
King
a
Kong.
possibility. Big Dong.
No, I ain't been to Florida to see no dong or Kong.
So I haven't really had good help. But
That's the best he could come up with. He was skinny dipping
streaking. Get it right.
or streaking.
So I haven't had good help, but yeah. I also, and what made it worse is I looked up that, and it turns out that was not a real cryptid in Florida.
It wasn't. You had to look that up.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't know he was joking. I didn't know he was joking.
I didn't either.
Please keep giving us recommendations. Just not.
Yeah, you're gonna find that cryptid one day. It's not as hard as you think.
What do you mean?
The cryptid, it ain't no ghost. It ain't no Bigfoot. What's that leave?
He's not a ghost and he's not a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That leaves about 900 of things. Was it the Big Dong thing? Do I not know about a cryptid in Florida named Big Dong?
This was in North Alabama, you dummy.
Oh. So, the person who commented that, if you can find one in Alabama, just tell me.
Yeah.
That
If
helps.
you can find a big dong in Alabama,
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Anyway, about this Harry Potter witch thing.
Why are you still on about this?
I got to give it a rating.
Why are you on about Harry Potter?
Because he's a broom jockey too. Remember?
Sure.
Why does wizards and witches ride brooms? I mean, what's the difference in a wizard and a witch?
This wasn't a witch.
Huh?
This wasn't a
Harry
witch.
Potter wasn't either.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
That's a fictional movie, you know.
It wasn't based on a true story.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Boulder Dork wasn't real.
Dude. So wait, I work up this. This is 4 pages worth of script writing that I've cooked up for you.
Yeah.
And
And I'm going to give it a rating of a 2.
really?
Mm-hmm.
A 2?
Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Sure do make a lot of messes. You ought to save them scripts for posterity. Somebody might pay for them one day.
Who wants these scripts? Who's gonna pay for these?
A lot of idiots out there believes in everything like you do. Truth seekers.
It's what we are.
Huh?
It's what we are.
Yeah. If you live to be 90, you'll still be seeking it.
Okay. Some people found it. The president found it, and you telling me that's fake? You tell me there's no
What
way.
he found?
The,
He found the Bell Witch?
yeah, you heard its voice.
Oh, you talking about old Hickory?
Yeah, that one.
So we said. Got scared off by it. He wasn't supposed to be scared of nothing. Ain't that something?
Wouldn't you be scared? You would be. Don't even lie,
I'm just terrified of everything.
dude. So what? That's it? A 2?
It's
And
like Ape Canyon. Me and Donnie be fighting for our lives, and there y'all stand. Teeth chattering, standing in a puddle of urine, shaking all over. Snot bubble hanging out your nose.
Okay, so that cryptid that you saw then, since this Bell Witch was a failure,
It didn't scare me.
it didn't scare you?
No.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that.
No, it didn't scare me.
So, I
I
have
was on the train. How's
now-
it gonna scare me? Gonna get up on the engine
in the
with me?
comment section, I have help from people that are helping me find out what it is,
Okay.
and I think that this next episode,
You think they're gonna guess it too?
I think they're gonna guess it. If
Okay. You say so.
I'll
I'll say this.
specifically-
I saw it, but I was on the train.
specifically
I wasn't
talking
scared.
to the streaker in Florida, help me out, man.
You relying on a naked man to help you, you in trouble.
Okay, man.
TNT